I hate editing. I fucking hate it. There are times when it's easy. When it's easy and simple enough. You're just trying to do a Let's Play. That's simple enough. You have an introduction. You have your game captured footage. You have your voiceover audio. Simple. Then just process. You have a podcast. Maybe you want to make some quick little individual cuts all throughout the audio. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you add a picture clip or something. That's easy enough. But it's when you get into a review video that you're trying to do that incorporates shot on shitty webcam footage, game footage, voiceover audio, or just audio from your video recording with just the video cut out and the audio. Well, I'm trying to edit together my latest indie zombie review. I'm almost done. And then I'm going to ask a question. How the fuck is this even possible? Where you're trying to make a cut in the middle after you've already arranged everything kind of the way that you want it. And you're making a cut in the middle of the clip. Clip that has nothing to do with any other clips. So I'm trying to cut game footage. And the second I cut it, everything else that's aligned with the game footage suddenly goes right to the beginning. Just shifted all the way over to the beginning. And best of all, when you go to grab said footage that moved to try and pull it back to where you want it, it somehow links it with everything else so that you can't. Meaning when you grab it and try to move it, and you just want to move that clip, it moves everything else beneath it. All your game footage, your intro scene, your audio, everything. It grabs it and just moves it all. How the fuck does that even make any goddamn sense? This is the part about video making that I absolutely hate. And why it sucks sometimes when you're just one person who's doing all this shit yourself. So I use Sony Movie Studios, which has been perfectly fine so far. It is a little bit annoying when you're trying to edit something together quickly, and depending on how long it is, or maybe the quality of it, it may take an hour or two for it to process. And some of my videos are relatively short, sometimes. But basically I'm realizing that because of this, because every time I'm going to make this cut, it's going to send all of the rest of my footage to the very beginning over everything else, and then not let me pull it back without having to cut everything else and just start over again. Is that really what the editing process is and should be? Should it be this one simple step by fucking step? Because guess what? I already did that shit before, and I did that with a crappier editor. The previous editor I had, and I don't remember what it was called, but I got it from the very first capture device that I ever bought. It was only designed really for Let's Plays, because anytime I tried to do anything more complicated that required multiple edits, this thing was a piece of shit, where it would try to crash on me multiple times. So anytime I was working on a project, I had to make sure to save at each and every single step. Because if I didn't, and I tried to move too fast to immediately try to click on the next thing that I wanted to work on, it would start to load, it wouldn't respond, and then it would crash all the goddamn time. Till finally a day came where it just wouldn't work anymore. It wouldn't process any of my videos. So I had to upgrade and get something new. A friend of mine did suggest I try to uninstall and reinstall it, but I no longer had the disk for it, I also figured, what are the chances it would even work, or possibly be worse than it was before? It was fairly reliable for how I started. And this is better. This gives me more options, and it did take me a while to try to re-figure out how to edit. And when I first learned how to edit, that was purely by accident, in fact. Now, though, it's better. It's a lot cheaper, and it's not as complicated. But, man, I still hate it. I mean, I've had other times where it's been easier, maybe because I didn't pre-plan, like I did with this cut, where I went through all my video footage of me, you know, just talking on camera, and made the appropriate cuts where I wanted to cut, and then just kind of lined it up the way that I would want it for a proper review, and then bring in the game footage, and then cut the game footage. Turns out I can't do that. So, oh. Now, yeah, that's just but, God damn it! It's so mind-numbingly tedious. It is, but then again, so is the video making process in general. It's mind-numbingly tedious, unless you're able to have fun doing it. But I can't have fun while doing this. I can't, because all your attention has to be on the editor. You know, you can't be listening to music while you edit because you have to listen to sound cues, and you have to listen to voiceover to make sure that everything matches. Because if you're as OCD as I am, as anybody who probably does this kind of shit, you have to pay attention to those kind of details. And when something like this gets fucked up in the process, you want to rip your fucking hair out. I remember when I was doing the Reviews from the Room episode of Dracula, there were so many goddamn fuck-ups that kept on happening every time I would make a cut, and I couldn't figure out why it was doing that. Where suddenly audio would suddenly just move. Just because I made this one cut in the middle, audio on the end would suddenly move forward. It's like, how does that even make any damn sense? I mean, bear in mind, I'm still an amateur editor. I'm still kind of learning here. I don't know a lot of the technicals. So what? So is there some sort of a lock interface that I'm not aware of that I need to use to make sure that that shit doesn't happen? Or hey, how about that just doesn't happen in general? There shouldn't have to be some sort of an option in order to stop that shit. But, oh, good fucking God. The sad thing is I've been wanting to try and work on this video for a while, and it's only started tonight that I finally said, I'm going to sit my ass down, I'm going to sit in front of the camera, record, talk about this goddamn game, sit on the editor, work, get it processed, and then maybe try and post it here in a few days. Not that it's probably going to matter anyway in the long run. Thankfully, I already got the game footage, because I beat the game like quite a few days ago. And what's worse is that, in the end, it always seems like a lot of the work is never worth it. If you're on YouTube, you know, and you're a pretty small guy like myself, who's just one individual, kind of doing this for fun, doing this as a hobby, would love to do this as a job, maybe, someday, probably not. But somebody who enjoys doing this, enjoys talking about video games or movies, if you can, and, you know, maybe try and bring a little bit of entertainment, maybe a little bit of, like, hey, like, I played this game that maybe nobody's really aware of, and I thought it was pretty good, so here, check it out. Not a lot of people really seem to care. I mean, I still enjoy it. I do it because I still enjoy it. I don't do it to feed whatever, well, maybe I do feed it for whatever pathetic ego I may still have, but I don't know, it's always just kind of funny how it seems you try to put quite a bit of hard work into what you love, and nobody cares. I know there are some people who don't care. I know that. They've kind of told me that to my face, which is always nice when that happens. It's like, oh, hey, I think that hobby thing that you're doing for fun, this thing that you love, I think it's stupid. It's like, oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you. Thank you so much, jerk. I'm just realizing that this is going to be a long goddamn night process. But that's okay. Thankfully, I don't go back to work again until Tuesday. So I have at least another day and several hours to work on this, and it's really not going to take me that long, but God, I hate the slow process. I really do. Well, anyway, sorry, I just really wanted to get that off my chest. God damn it. I think I'm getting a headache. See ya.